I'm looking at Old Glory right up there. Uh, and, and for the first time in many, many years, I'm actually very proud to see these colors flying. My name is Eddie. I'm an American, born in Texas, but I live in Moscow, Russia. And this building right behind me is the US Embassy in Moscow, Russia. And I'm here to talk about the end of the diplomatic war between the United States and Russia.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Big news out of Riyadh just yesterday as I am filming this video on a very cold, wet, snowy day in Moscow. And I have come here to the US Embassy in Moscow to talk about the thawing of the ice cold, how should we say, relationship that has existed between Russia and the United States, going back to the Obama administration.
Договорились возобновить в нормальном режиме работу дипломатических ведомств, постоянное выдворение дипломатов из Вашингтона и из Москвы ни к чему хорошему не приводит. У нас, если так дело дальше пойдет, в этих зданиях будут работать только одни уборщицы, чей труд тоже, безусловно, надо ценить, но это не то, ради чего создаются дипломатические представительства. Это первое.
With the election of President Trump in the United States, we have seen big, huge, monumental changes in foreign policy. Not only in foreign policy, but just the direction of foreign policy going forward. And this is incredibly huge news, especially for someone like me, an American, as I said, born and raised in Texas, married to a beautiful Russian woman, and I live here now in the city of Moscow, Russia. And this building behind me represents the United States of America. This is the United States of America in Russia. Make no mistake about it. Beginning with the Obama administration, diplomatic relations between Russia and America have deteriorated up until its lowest point during the Biden administration. And this is after the special military operation that Russia undertook in Ukraine. And it's been downhill ever since. I like to say, and I've said this in many of my videos, that America didn't sanction Russia. America sanctioned Americans living in Russia, like me. And the sanctions that have been put in place by the West, put in place by the United States, have done absolutely nothing to hurt the Russian economy. Now, Russia beat all expectations as set out by the International Monetary Fund. The IMF had said that Russia was on track, on trajectory to have 3.2% growth in 2024. And I believe they ended 2024 with like 3.9 or even 4% or even north of that. It's been incredible. But if you're a US citizen like I am, I'm the one who got sanctioned because my bank cards don't work. Visa, MasterCard left. I can't transfer money directly into Russia using the bank system because SWIFT was decoupled basically from Russia. And so the sanctions made life difficult for me and people like me, not the average Russian. And yeah. So this embassy here has actually been closed for most business for Americans and other foreigners since the start of the special military operation and all of these sanctions that started to hit. So about the only thing you can do here is get, I believe you can renew your passport. You can get a birth certificate if you've had a child born abroad. You can file for a death certificate. But basically, any other business that you would normally conduct at a U.S. embassy abroad, you cannot do here. So, for instance, I needed to get a background check so that I could apply for temporary residency. Normally, you could come here and get the FBI background check. You can't do that now. I had to actually fly back to the United States to have that business done. Crazy. My wife is applying for a tourist visa to visit the United States. Just a tourist visa, not an immigrant visa, not asking for residency, just a visa to visit, meet my friends and family. Well, because of the closing of the embassy here, we cannot file for this in Moscow. So we had to go to another country. So we had to file at the US Embassy in Yerevan, Armenia. Now, what's interesting is you need to look on a map and look at where Russia is and then look at where Armenia is on the map. Now, Armenia hosts the largest US embassy by square footage of any embassy anywhere in the world. Look it up. And it's so interesting that we had to apply in Armenia. And in fact, we don't even know yet because my wife has yet to have her interview with the immigration officer at Yerevan. So we don't know if she will get or be granted an immigration visa, but I think she will. If you think about it, the first lady and the second lady are both immigrants, both married to American citizens. So if America is good enough to elect a president and vice president who are married to foreigners, married to American citizens now, but they were foreign born, I'm hoping that they will also approve my wife for an immigrant visa. So yeah. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about the thawing of relations between the United States and Russia. This is huge. This is monumental. This is a moment that I have prayed for years and years and years. And it's finally here. So in Riyadh, Russia and America have decided that going forward, they need to establish full diplomatic relationship with each other. They cannot continue to coexist in a world where they aren't diplomatically connected. I mean, common sense. So finally, we have common sense that has returned to government in the United States. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Old Glory right up there. And for the first time in many, many years, I'm actually very proud to see these colors flying. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But I think it's good. You know, Europe is having a meltdown over this, and they will continue to have a meltdown. But I want you to see, because there's something that I've talked about many times in many of my videos, and that is the deep state. And what you have to realize is that the deep state not only exists in the United States, but if you'll notice now, it exists everywhere. Just look at the amount of hate. Just look at the amount of negativity toward President Trump, toward Marco Rubio, on the subject of Ukraine and ending this war. The deep state is real, and the deep state is indeed extremely deep, and they are extremely determined to keep Russia and America separate. Now, I'm going to keep this video brief because the weather, it's kind of wet, it's kind of ugly out here. It was sunny this morning. I should have come out this morning, but I didn't. I want you to think about what a monumental time this is. What a huge win for peace, for prosperity, for cooperation, for friendship moving forward from this very moment between Russia and America. And I bet, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction now, but I believe you're also going to see, I think peak Russophobia has occurred, and I think it's over. It's over. Because President Trump and President Putin are going to meet. And one of those meetings is actually going to be here in Moscow. And I think that's going to be a huge inflection point for many Americans who are kind of like, don't know what to think. Because do they believe the propaganda? Do they not come to Russia? Is Russia really a bad, scary place? So I think those days are over. I think we're headed toward some really positive times now. And I hope to see less of this Russophobic talk and discussion that has filled our news cycle and just everyday life for over a decade. So, yeah, look at Old Glory again. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. All right, guys. This is what I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to come here and show you, and I want to show you some of the I want to show you some of the displays that are here in front of the Russian embassy with regard to the relationship between America and Russia. Actually, between Russia and America. But you got ZDO. За победу, сила, правде, отважный. Сила de правде. And one more right over here. Вместе. Вместе means we together. So, yeah, all of this right here. And this is actually a statement from Russia to the Americans, but mainly to the Biden administration. So, yeah, I hope Russia will take these down, but I know that they're going to leave them here for a while because this is all brand new. But peace is coming. Actually, I will just say peace is here. It really is. So, from the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, Russia, until we meet again. Пока.